Now, the chairman of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, Duminda Hulangamu, says that Sri Lanka must consider global trends and adjust its tax policies accordingly. Joining a panel discussion on our program at Hyde Park with Indiva Yamuwatta, Hulangamu said that a tax policy should not be consistent and that it should be considerate of economic dynamics. Meanwhile, senior partner of Gajma & Co. N.R. Gajendran says that it is crucial for the government to reach its estimated targets in the coming year as the budget deficit and expenditure has widened in 2024 compared to 2023. Commenting on the tax structure of the country, Head of Tax and Regulatory of KPMG, Suresh Pereira, said that the biggest reason the country is not successful in earning a sufficient tax income is due to the lack of a proper tax structure that supports a good tax policy and tax administration.
There was conversation about how an effective tax policy can be implemented, how you have a unique tax structure for a country. But in designing ours, how do we really make sure that we do not deter foreign direct investments?
When a person comes or making a decision or evaluating a country to invest, there will be so many criteria that he or she will go through. There is this theory to say that we should not have given exemptions because of the exemptions that we have reduced our tax base. The other part says, no, we have to give exemptions. Without exemptions, people would come, there's no traction. So I think there are arguments in favor of both parties. These things keep changing. If the country does well, if the economy rebounds, if we have to attract more investments, if our ratios improve, then probably we can. So I don't think there is ever a situation you can say one size fits everything, that we have to keep changing depending on circumstance and time. Which way investments are moving, which way countries are moving, which way investments are flowing, we have to keep a track of it and see which ranks priority at a particular given time. So I don't think you can have a set policy saying, okay, this is what the policy we're going to follow every day in our lives. No. I mean, even countries like the UK, with a country like Ireland, they are giving tax concessions to attract investments. So it's a moving game. It's a moving target. We can't say that there's one particular position we have to take. It'll keep moving depending on the economic dynamics of the world and which way it's moving.
Basically, the government is committed to stick with the IMF program. There is no question of moving away from that, in spite of the fact the next year is going to be an election year. That's a firm stand on the government. So that's certainly a positive sign. And also at the same time, the government has been smart enough to give some relief, not from the tax point of view. So there is room for people to be comforted and to be satisfied. Now, looking at the numbers of the budget, now if you see, we are expecting a 3% increase that's going to happen in VAT. Then the increase in the revenue expected on goods and services compared to 23 is about 860 billion rupees. This 4.1 trillion is made up of 860 billion increase in taxes on goods and services. So here we have to hit the numbers. Already our deficit is at about 9%, close to 10% the budget deficit. So if you don't hit that number, we are going to have a problem. So whether implementation on the revenue side is particularly going to be tough because businesses are down, we are on consumption is down, contraction is on, we are on a debt default environment. Look at the expenditure. Expenditure almost from 5.4 trillion is going up to 7 trillion. So definitely there will be strain on the fiscal side. We are going into a new environment altogether where the central bank of the new central bank there will be no opportunity for the central bank to either directly or indirectly to subscribe to government debt. And if that is not happening, that means basically there is no money printing permitted under the new act. To achieve the expected thing, it's going to be a tall order.
Tax, we have to collect taxes, correct. Point is basically where are we going to collect the taxes? Now, what is the process that we have in Sri Lanka to identify where to collect the taxes from? How to design the tax policies? You see, how to design a tax system, how to collect the taxes, that is the tax administration, that is also an art, that is also is a science. Now, I don't see that art or science at the top in Sri Lanka with regard to the tax policy making as well as tax administration. We do not have a particular structure for designing tax policies for overseeing the tax administration. If you don't have that proper structure, I would say that you can't expect positive outcome with regard to the policy making, good policies as well as the proper administration.